call some essential documents that for investors and property owners, depending on what you're doing here. And the disclaimer, this is not giving you any financial advice. Lars already kind of talked about that with our housekeeping things. And but this is just for your own information here. The first thing is the lead-based paint poisoning notification. This is the disclosure. Okay. There's the next one would be the authorization to release information, which is very important if you need to find out anything about your tenants or buyers. And then you want to become an additional insured on their insurance too. So first thing is the lead-based paint disclosure here. Now this over on the left is a document that's put out by HUD, and this is what you're actually required to give to anybody who's a tenant or actually even a buyer. And I know we don't do as many rental situations anymore, but with buyers also have to have that. The thing they need to sign is on the right-hand side. It just basically says that you gave this to them. And federal law does require this because any property built prior to 1978, which covers a lot, especially in our area here, it could have some lead-based paint. Now, I personally have had people as much as 11 and 12 years later contact me. I had an attorney contact me saying that the child who was, I think, about 7 or 8 years old at the time they were renting from me, they were there a few years, said they got some lead-based paint that they could bring back to that. Now, I had this disclosure signed at the time, and I did give this to him because when I was a mortgage broker, that was always very important stuff because whatever HUD says is what they would hold against you if you didn't do it. And this is a very important disclosure right here. That just kept me from getting in any trouble. I don't know. It just kind of died right there because that's what I had done with it. I hadn't heard anything else about them. But this is something that you want to make sure you give them, that the pamphlet over here on the left, it's about, I don't know, probably 18 or 19 pages long, something like that, but that is required. And I know if you use a property manager, they should give that all out to them. The next thing is the authorization to release information. I like to use this one that's generic right here. I always have them sign this. And usually a copy is as good as the original. Now, there's other ones you can have to get it notarized. The problem with those is if you don't get it notarized, there's a place on there. And I don't know, I've never had anybody not give me the information I needed, but this right here will get you information on jobs, from previous landlords, actually any kind of loans they have. You just have them sign that, put their social security numbers on there, and print their name down there. And this form right here will get you just about any information that you need to have. Also, even after they leave, because I personally don't date this. You can you can do anything you want as far as that goes, but I like to have these a blank one in my file just so I can use this at any time I need to find out any information. Now, of course, we can always use CaseNet and some of those other sites like that do disclose a lot of information. But as Catherine Davis has been telling us, they may be stricken some of those records. So you may not be able to find that down the road. This will actually help you right here, though. Get the information you need. And then the other thing that's very important, a lot of people overlook this, is you do want to become an additional insured on your tenants or your buyer's insurance. First of all, you want to require they have insurance, and we don't always do that because it's easy to overlook it, but you don't want your house looking like that because of some little thing. And I personally have had a couple of instances where the insurance didn't cover. So this is something that, it's always easy to look back and find out what you should have done. But if you do this up front, this could save you a lot of heartache. And it's really simple too. First of all, require them to have it, find out who their agent or broker is, and just ask them to get a copy of their declaration page of the insurance policy. That's usually on the first 1 or 2 pages. That tells you who's insured, who the insurer is, what company they were. It usually has the agent's name and phone number on there, or broker's name and phone number, depending on who you get your insurance through. And then you contact them, and you want to become an additional insured. Okay, you want to contact them and just say, hey, they're with your disclosure that I just showed you. They should go ahead and give that all to you because that's what that form does. But this is a way you can get on here. And then you can monitor this. The nice thing about this is I had one of our buyers that we had before, when they switched insurance, we got a notification that the old one was canceled. I contacted them, found out the new agent and broker. So that's that's something that you want to make sure you do, because that way you can kind of control this. You'll be a part of, an additional insured. If they do have a claim, you will actually be on the check that comes there, and you both have to authorize it. So that's just something that's very important. That could save you a lot of heartache down the road. So those are the three, I call them essential documents for real estate investors, property owners. That's your lead-based paint disclosure, authorization to release information, and then you want to become an additional insured. So if you'd like to have a copy of these slides and actually the templates for that, I'd be happy to give them to you. Just send me a request right there at my email address, and I'll give them